how could this guy get any better after the freshman season that he had? Like, put on 20 pounds of muscle, he's bigger, he's somehow faster.
You're looking at the best player in college football.
He's big, he's slippery, and he's fast, and he catches everything.
How you feel about the Blitnikoff?
Then that's crazy. First question.
Jeremiah Smith has played 29 college football games in his entire life. In those 29 games, he's already caught more passes per game than any receiver in Ohio State history, a program that has sent more wide receivers to the NFL than almost anyone else in the country. He set a freshman receiving record in a Rose Bowl semifinal.
Had a feeling that they were going to start looking for him. He's been quiet. Like I said, there's a great job of high pointing the ball.
He made the single most important catch of a national championship game before he could legally rent a car. He became the fastest player in Ohio State history to reach 100 catches, the fastest to 1,000 yards, the fastest to 1,500 yards, the fastest to 25 touchdowns.
Across the middle, catch made! Look at him go, Jeremiah Smith!
The legend grows!
And right now, heading into his junior season, he needs just 43 catches, 341 yards, and 9 touchdowns to become the all-time leader in every major receiving category in Ohio State history. Not his class, not his era, ever. He's not chasing a record. He's on pace to lap it.
How many times have people mentioned your catch versus Notre Dame?
Heavy pressure, Howard delivers downfield, and Smith!
His name is Jeremiah Smith. He's 20 years old, and by the end of this video, you're gonna understand why the only real question left in Columbus isn't whether he breaks these records, it's how many games he has left to spare when he does. Here's how a kid out of South Florida turned into the most inevitable stat line in college football.
7 years old, I get there to the coach. He says, you're cut off the team. I didn't know what that was at first. I never knew kids could get cut off a team till that day. I was just a whole different type of person from that day forward. You just made a kid more hungry, that's all I can say.
Jeremiah Smith grew up in South Florida and starred at Chaminade Madonna Prep, a program that has become one of the most dangerous recruiting pipelines in the entire country. Even in that talent-rich building, Smith stood out immediately. A receiver with the frame of a tight end, the speed of a track sprinter, and hands that made contested catches look like a formality rather than a fight. By the time his senior year wrapped up, there was no debate left to have. Every major recruiting service tagged him a 5-star prospect, and he closed his high school career as the consensus #1 overall player in the entire 2024 recruiting class. Not just the top receiver, the top player in the country, period, at any position. Programs across the sport tried to pry him away from Ohio State. It didn't matter. Smith committed to Columbus, and college football was about to find out exactly why every coach in America wanted him. Most true freshmen spend their first year in college football learning the playbook and playing special teams. Jeremiah Smith spent his first year rewriting the Ohio State record book. It took him only 9 games to break Chris Carter's long-standing school record for receptions by a freshman, a record that had stood since the 1980s. By the time the college football playoff rolled around, Smith wasn't just a promising young piece of the offense, he was the offense. In the Rose Bowl semifinal against Oregon, Smith caught 7 passes for 187 yards and 2 touchdowns, scoring on the opening drive just 51 seconds into the game and setting a new Ohio State freshman record for receiving yards in a single game. Then, in the national championship game against Notre Dame, with Ohio State clinging to the game late, Smith hauled in a 56-yard reception on 3rd and 11 that Buckeye fans still refer to simply as 3rd and Jeremiah.
Smith, he's got it! Jeremiah Smith hadn't had a touch in the second half until that potential game clincher.
The play that sealed a 34-23 national title. A true freshman, a national championship, multiple freshman records, some of them conference-wide. Smith didn't just arrive in college football. He walked in and immediately became the most productive receiver on a team that won it all. If the freshman year was a warning shot, the sophomore season was confirmation. Smith kept climbing at a pace that stopped looking like normal development and started looking like a countdown clock on the entire Ohio State record book. He became the fastest Buckeye in program history to reach 100 career receptions, the fastest to reach 1,000 receiving yards, the fastest to reach 1,500 receiving yards, and the fastest to reach 25 receiving touchdowns. By the end of his sophomore year, Smith had racked up 22 receiving touchdowns in just 22 career games, a pace that put him inside striking distance of Braylon Edwards' Big Ten record of 39 career touchdown catches, a mark that had stood since the mid-2000s. He finished the season already sitting inside the top 10 in Ohio State history in career receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. 2 seasons in, not even old enough to be a senior, and he was already a top 10 Ohio State receiver of all time, chasing records set by players who got 4 full years to build their resume. So here's exactly what's left standing between Jeremiah Smith and the top of Ohio State history, heading into his junior season. The career receptions record belongs to Emeka Egbuka at 205. Smith needs just 43 catches to pass him. The career receiving yards record belongs to Michael Jenkins at 2,898. Smith needs just 341 yards to pass him. The career receiving touchdowns record belongs to Chris Olave at 35. Smith needs just 9 touchdowns to pass him. For context, Smith is averaging over 5.6 receptions per game for his career, the highest rate in Ohio State history. At that pace, he doesn't just have a chance to break these records, he's on track to break all 3 of them well before the season is over, with games to spare, and he's still eligible to come back for a full senior year if he chooses not to declare early for the NFL draft. Think about what that means.
He would lead every rep. He showed no signs of quit. He just did it every session, straight business.
I mean, it was different types of programs coming at me. Once Hardline left, then once the season was over. But never really thought about leaving Ohio State. Always wanted to be at Ohio State, and it would be dumb for me to leave Ohio State to go to another team when I have the best offensive line in the country, best quarterback in the country, and the best coaches in the country. So that would be a stupid move for me to go somewhere else.
A player who is on pace to become Ohio State's all-time leader in every major receiving category, doing it in roughly 3 seasons what it took legends like Egbuka, Jenkins, and Olave 3 or 4 years to build. Jeremiah Smith didn't just arrive at Ohio State as the best receiver in his recruiting class. He arrived as a problem defensive coordinator still haven't solved, and a record book that's running out of room for his name.
He goes about his work, how much he cares, and he is beyond his years as an 18-year-old young man, but he can be as good as there's ever been.
Great wide receivers at Ohio State. So I think when people saw Jeremiah, the next receiver to come to Ohio State, I'm like, well, this guy might be a little different.
As impressive a freshman as any in their Hall of Fame line of wide receivers.
By the time his college career ends, the conversation might not even be about whether he's the best receiver in Ohio State history. It might be about whether any receiver at any school in any era ever climbed a record book this fast. If you think there's a receiver climbing the ranks faster than this, drop it in the comments. I want to see the case for it. And if you want more breakdowns on the players rewriting college football history in real time, subscribe, because this record chase is only getting started.